Imagine a mind so far ahead of its time, it really does feel like this guy stepped out of the future and landed right in the middle of the past. We're talking about a man who bridged the worlds of art, science, and invention like nobody before or since. I mean, this is a guy who'd look up at birds and bats, and he didn't just see animals. No, he saw nature's blueprints for flight. And from those observations, he sketched out these incredible ornithopters and aerial screws, basically inventing the helicopter centuries before it would ever actually get off the ground. And at the same time, this same guy was an artist who could capture the absolute deepest human emotions with just a brushstroke. He created a portrait with a smile so mysterious, so enigmatic, that it's had the entire world guessing for more than 500 years. And he was a scientist, someone who wasn't afraid to peel back the layers of the human form. He actually dissected corpses to understand the unbelievably intricate mechanics inside. He didn't just see flesh and bone. He saw a perfectly engineered system. This, of course, was Leonardo da Vinci. So how in the world did one person become the Renaissance man? Well, it all started with a universal mind, a mind that just refused to see any boundaries. For Leonardo, you see, everything was connected. His whole life was this incredible journey through the great power centers of the Italian Renaissance. From his apprenticeship in Florence to his super productive years in Milan working for the Duke, and even his final days in France as a guest of the king. Leonardo was always at the heart of innovation, just soaking up and contributing to the culture all around him. And the proof of this boundless curiosity? Over 5,000 pages of his notes have survived. And this wasn't just a diary. Think of it more like the external hard drive for one of the most brilliant and restless minds in all of human history. The sheer scope of these notebooks is just staggering. He famously wrote everything in mirror script with his left hand, maybe to keep his ideas secret. And inside, you find everything from detailed anatomical drawings to designs for tanks. For Leonardo, there was no real difference between sketching a flower and designing a fortress. It was all just part of understanding the world. And this right here, this brings us to the absolute core of his genius, art as science. For Leonardo, art wasn't just for beauty. It was a tool for investigation. And science was the way you could decode the beauty of nature. He lived by this simple but really powerful principle he called saper vedere. It's Italian for knowing how to see. He believed that our eyes were the windows to our soul and the most important tool we have for gaining knowledge. For Leonardo, true understanding didn't come from just reading and accepting old texts. It came from intense, direct observation. And you can tell he was pretty frustrated by people who didn't share this intensity. This quote just brilliantly sums up his worldview. He really felt that most people were just moving through life on autopilot. Leonardo's entire goal was to be fully awake to every single detail, every sensation, every moment. And there is no greater symbol of this philosophy than his iconic drawing, the Vitruvian Man. It's so much more than just a famous image on a t-shirt. It's a scientific study of human proportions, it's a mathematical puzzle, and it's a stunning work of art, all rolled into one. Okay, but here's the crucial insight. Leonardo wasn't just illustrating some ancient idea from the Roman architect Vitruvius. He was testing it. Vitruvius had claimed the circle and the square shared the exact same center, but Leonardo's own measurements proved him wrong. He actually corrected the ancient master, which just goes to show his core belief. Observation always trumps authority. This is his scientific mind in action. Now, when Leonardo applied that same intense observation to the world of engineering, well, the results were nothing short of visionary. His journals are literally filled with blueprints for the future. He designed a flying machine based on the wings of a bat, an aerial screw that is clearly the ancestor of the modern helicopter, and, get this, even a diving suit for underwater missions. Let's just focus on one of his most famous war machines for a second, the armored vehicle. He designed it for his patron in Milan, and it was pretty much a 15th century tank, a mobile fortress covered in metal plates with cannons pointing out in every direction. I mean, it looks incredible on paper, right? But for years, historians and engineers who study the designs noticed a pretty critical flaw, one that would have made it completely immobile. So did the great Leonardo actually make a mistake? Well, the answer is a resounding no. It's now believed that the flaw was intentional.
Leonardo designed the gears to work in reverse, a brilliant piece of 15th century copy protection. He understood just how devastating his invention could be, so he built in a secret flaw so that only he held the key to making it work. It's just a stunning example of his foresight.
So, what is Leonardo's ultimate legacy then? When you boil it all down, it's this powerful idea that true creativity, true innovation, is born right at the intersection where observation meets imagination. You can literally trace the echo of his thinking all through history. During the Renaissance, he completely erased the line between artist and scientist. His rigorous methods totally foreshadowed the scientific revolution. And today, his spirit lives on in every innovator who blends different disciplines to create something new. You know, the artist who codes or the engineer who designs with beauty in mind. And this really is the ultimate takeaway. Leonardo's genius wasn't just some magical, innate gift he was born with. It was a skill that he practiced his entire life, the skill of saper vedere, the art of truly seeing. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. In our own lives and in our own work, what incredible things might we discover if we stopped just looking and truly started to see?